AITA for disowning my wife's daughter after she sided with her mom's affair partner over me? Hello Reddit I+ here. I met Linda when I was 23, fresh into university, and she was 21. She was beautiful, witty, and had an infectious laugh that could light up the entire room. From the moment we met, I was hooked. What I didn't know, what she didn't tell me, was that she already had a child. 3 months into our relationship, she finally introduced me to Lisa, her 4-year-old daughter. I remember the day clearly. I was meeting her family for the first time, expecting nothing more than the usual awkward small talk. But then I saw a little girl standing beside Linda's mother. Confused, I asked if she was a little sister or a cousin. The answer shocked me. "She's my daughter," Linda said. I thought I had misheard. My stomach twisted with a mix of emotions: betrayal, shock, uncertainty. A child? And she had hidden it from me? My first instinct was to walk away, but Linda begged me to stay, tears in her eyes, pleading with me to give her a chance. And somehow, against all logic, I did. As the months passed, I found myself growing attached to Lisa. She was sweet, curious, and had a way of wrapping people around her little fingers. Soon, I wasn't just in love with Linda, I was in love with Lisa too. I wanted to be her father. Years flew by. In early 2019, before the world changed forever, Linda and I got married. In late 2021, I officially adopted Lisa, making our bond legal, making her mine in every sense of the word. And in early 2022, Linda gave birth to our son, Mark. Our perfect family was complete, or so I thought. Linda decided to become a stay-at-home mom after Mark was born, and I fully supported her. I worked hard to provide for them, putting in extra hours to ensure they never wanted for anything. I thought everything was perfect. Then, a few months ago, I started noticing changes in Linda. She spent more and more time out of the house, always with her friends. I tried not to be controlling. I told myself she needed a break from being at home all day. But then came the constant texting, the secretive phone calls, the way she would step outside whenever a certain contact called her. The moment my suspicions turned into something undeniable was the day I came home early from work. I pulled into the driveway and saw Linda outside, talking on her phone. Nothing unusual, until I stepped inside and heard my son wailing. My heart pounded as I rushed into the living room. Mark was lying on the floor, his face red from crying, and the smell hit me like a punch to the gut. His diaper was soaked through. It looked like it hadn't been changed all day. Fury burned through me. I scooped up my son and stormed outside. Linda barely noticed me at first, too engrossed in her conversation. Without thinking, I snatched the phone from her hand and bolted inside, locking the door behind me. The voice on the other end, male, immediately asked, "Linda, who's there?" I felt my stomach drop. I had my answer. The moment he heard my voice, he hung up. I wasn't done. I went through Linda's messages, screenshotting every dirty, incriminating exchange, every "I miss you," every "I can't wait to see you again," every explicit detail of their affair. I sent them to myself, then deleted them from her phone. By the time Linda realized she was locked out, she was banging on the glass door, screaming to be let in. I hesitated before finally unlocking it, only for her to slap me the second she stepped inside. I stood there, stunned, my son still in my arms. Realization dawned on her face. She gasped, eyes wide, and started apologizing, crying, begging. She reached for me, but I pushed her away. I told her to sit at the dining table. We were going to talk. I asked my daughter Lisa to take care of Mark so her mother and I could have a conversation. I laid it out for Linda. No games, no lies. This was her one and only chance to be honest. "Who?" I asked. She hesitated, then mumbled, "Daniel, her ex-boss." "For how long?" She swallowed. 6 months. I took a deep breath. "Did you sleep with him?" Silence. "Linda," I warned, my voice low, "this is your last chance." She nodded, barely able to meet my eyes. "The final question. Did you use protection?" She broke down, sobbing, begging me to forgive her, promising to block him, to never see him again, telling me I could do whatever I wanted, cheat on her, get revenge, anything. Just please, please don't leave. Before I could respond, Lisa came down the stairs. She walked straight to Linda, ignoring me. "Does he know about Daniel?" she asked her mother casually, as if she were talking about the weather. I froze. My heart stopped. I turned to Lisa. "You knew?" She didn't even flinch. "Yeah." Tears filled my eyes. Why didn't you tell me? Lisa crossed her arms. Because, unlike you, Daniel buys me the things I want without me having to beg. The words cut deeper than any blade ever could. I stared at the girl I had raised, the child I had fought so hard to call my own. How could you do this to me? She shrugged. You're not my real dad. Linda snapped at her, screaming. But I couldn't listen anymore. I grabbed Mark, walked out, and drove to my parents' house. For days, I drank myself to sleep. My saint of a mother took care of Mark while I drowned in betrayal. I canceled Lisa's private school tuition, her extracurriculars, everything I had ever provided for her. I contacted a divorce lawyer. Linda would be served on Friday. I sent her one last message. Get a lawyer and tell your ungrateful daughter to call Daniel Dad from now on. I'm done. Then I blocked her. Lisa? I didn't even reply. Now my phone won't stop buzzing. Linda, Lisa, our friends. They say I'm going too far, that Lisa is just a kid, that she didn't understand what she was doing. But she's 13. She knew. She hid her mother's affair. She threw my love in my face like it meant nothing. But then there's the other part of me. The part that wants to believe we can fix this. That therapy could make things right. That we could go back to the life I once thought was a fairy tale. I don't know what to do. One part of me wants to watch them burn for what they did. But the other part, the broken, desperate part of me, still hopes. Am I going too far? Is there still hope? Thanks to those who reached out privately. Thank you. I'm overwhelmed with messages, and while I may take some time to respond, please know that I truly appreciate every single one. First and foremost, I've quit drinking. It wasn't easy. Those first few days were hell, but I couldn't keep drowning myself in alcohol while my life crumbled around me. A kind soul suggested I ask my mom to clear out all the alcohol in her house, and I did. I won't lie. The withdrawal hit hard, and my depression felt heavier than ever. But now, I'm starting to feel like myself again. I had a brief conversation with her, and for now, I've put the divorce on hold. That doesn't mean I'm taking her back, it just means I need time to think. There's a lot to sort through, and I don't want to make decisions purely out of rage. What she did was beyond hurtful, and if there's even a shred of hope for reconciliation, she would have to move mountains to earn that chance. That being said, I'm taking steps to protect myself. I've pulled half of the money from our joint account and stopped paying for her car. During our conversation, I asked her some hard questions. Has she been in contact with Daniel since everything fell apart? She swears she's cut all ties and is willing to do whatever it takes to fix our marriage. Why did she even start seeing him? She claims she doesn't know. Said they reconnected at a work event. Clicked, and started spending time together as friends, until of course it escalated into something more. Apparently, she even brought him into our home when I was at work. Did she have feelings for him back when they worked together? She admitted she thought he was cute, but insists it never went beyond that, until recently. The worst part. My daughter. Several of you pointed out something I hadn't considered, that my wife may have poisoned our daughter against me. So I asked, why did she bring Daniel around Lisa? This one shattered me. Lisa caught them making out on our couch. She threatened to tell me, so they shut her up. With gifts, a new phone, and who knows what else. Over time, she started to like having him around because of the constant rewards. Did she badmouth me to Lisa? At first, my wife just sat there in silence, tears streaming down her face. When I pressed, she finally admitted the truth. She told Lisa that Daniel was her biological father. I won't lie, I broke down. I had noticed a shift in my daughter's behavior, but assumed it was just normal teenage mood swings. To find out it was because of this, I can't describe the pain. I also want to acknowledge that I was wrong to direct so much anger at my daughter. At the time, I wasn't thinking straight. With a clearer head, I realized she was manipulated, not malicious. I've unblocked her and we've been texting. She apologized and, perhaps out of desperation, my wife finally told her the truth. Lisa hasn't spoken to her since. She and I are meeting up tomorrow at the park, and I just hope we can start repairing the damage. I can't thank you all enough for the support and advice. If I had stayed lost in alcohol, I don't even want to think about where I'd be right now. I also want to apologize for the drunken rant I went on in the comments. I'm beyond embarrassed by the things I said. One last thing. I know many of you have suggested a DNA test for my son. I hear you. I know it's something I need to do. But right now, I'm barely holding it together. I don't have the mental strength to face that possibility just yet. I'll get there. Just not now. Again. Thank you all. Wishing you a great weekend. Love.